Thank you, God, for the opportunity to make another video. Welcome back to the MoneyPot Channel. It is your boy, Elijah, back here in the flesh. I'm feeling good today. I'm so grateful that I have breath in my lungs. All glory be to God. All glory be to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Thank you greatly for clicking on this video. It is going to bless you immensely. I believe that. In this video today, we are talking about how to survive an economic recession / depression. Because believe it or not, we are currently in a recession. As of December 2022, the United States is in an economic recession. What does this mean? How can we survive? How can we thrive in these times is what we're talking about in this video. Let's get into it. The MoneyPot Channel is a library of educational content created from a biblical perspective. The content provided here on the MoneyPot is designed to improve viewers' knowledge of world economics and events, cryptocurrency, and much more. The information provided here on the MoneyPot is not considered financial advice. Make sure you stay tuned to the end of this video to hear how to survive a gosh dang recession. Let's jump right into it. We're not wasting no gosh dang time. I want you to realize that the times that we're living in are extremely unprecedented. We are in an economic recession, and we could potentially be looking at being in a depression by next year. We're not going to really start feeling the effects of this economic recession probably until after Q1, around March and April, when things are really going to hit the gosh dang fan. So it is time to get prepared. Let's look at where our current situation is. We see the housing market is falling at its fastest pace since 2008. Since the recession in 2008, which was pretty bad. We see tech layoffs above the 2001 levels when the dot-com bubble gosh dang burst. I've been affected by these two greatly. Personally, being a past employee of a mortgage company that was in the fintech space, getting laid off. We're seeing mass layoffs. Twitter and many other top tech companies are having mass layoffs. We see credit card debt near $1 trillion for the first time. That's a lot. And consumer sentiment is extremely low. Also, American savings is extremely low. And then we see crypto and the FTX collapse mark a $2 trillion plus loss. Insane. Is this a controlled demolition of the whole economy? Is this what we're potentially looking at? Who knows? But all we can do is understand the times that we are living in, but prepare for the times ahead. And that is the key to surviving and thriving in a recession. Like I said, we are in a recession right now, but as we continue along in this recession and we feel its effects, we could truly be looking at a depression. A depression, which is multiple years. We see here the hedge fund Michael Burry saying and warning of an extended multi-year recession. That is not good. And he said it will be far from short and shallow. This is the man who predicted the housing collapse in 2008. He told people, listen, this is not going to be good. The house of cards is falling. And he's now warning of an extended multi-year recession. These are the type of things that we need to be aware of and plan for. Because if we don't, we will be wiped out and have to rely on government assistance. And that is not what anyone should want to do. See here in Venezuela, paper money on the streets. If you check out my content, you understand the perspective I'm coming from with this image. We are in the United States. We will eventually see paper money in the streets. It will have no value because of the role central bank digital currencies are going to play throughout this decade. It is serious, y'all. And eventually, fiat money is not going to be useful. And we see here now, Mr. Kiyosaki talking about what he does not invest in. He doesn't invest in equities. He does not invest in bonds. He does not invest in electronically traded securities. or mutual funds. Listen to what he's going to say next. I would get out of paper assets. He's obviously being facetious here. The world economy is not a market. I believe economy is the biggest bubble in world history. God have mercy on us all. That's scary. Get out of the gosh dang paper assets. That's what I'm doing. I feel better investing in gold and silver and in cryptocurrencies, certain ones, because they will retain their store value. And guess what? You can't make a lot more of them like you can with the United States dollar bills, which is basically propping up the United States economy right now. I don't trust the United States equities, bonds, mutual funds. All that gummit. Are you liking this video?
You like that? You like that?
Well, make sure you like the video. And also, go follow the MoneyPot on all social media platforms. We got TikTok, Twitter, as well as Instagram. Links are below. Make sure you go check out those social media platforms to stay tuned for all the updates on world economics and events, cryptocurrency, and much more. Let's get back into the video. We understand that we are currently in a recession here in 2022. We are going to be feeling the effects of this recession in 2023 and potentially moving into a actual economic depression. It's time to understand how we can survive these economic hardships. What must we do to be able to survive and potentially thrive during these unprecedented times? Seriously. All right, let's get the ball rolling. First major action that must be taken and is key to survival during a recession is having an emergency fund with at least 3 to 6 months of living expenses. Seriously, during recessions, and like we've seen earlier, layoffs happen, as well as a lot more types of emergencies happen. So that is why it's imperative that you have an emergency fund with 3 to 6 months worth of expenses in that fund. Do everything possible to get this emergency fund funded with those, 3 to 6 months of living expenses, because it is the key to your survival. Having extra money on hand. Put it away, stash it away for a rainy day. Whether it's in a savings account, hopefully at a credit union where you can get a better APR, or maybe you're willing to put it in a market CD that's going to, grow more than what a checking or savings account would at a major bank. That's just another plus. But make sure you have a 3 to 6 month emergency fund filled with enough money to be able to support you if anything were to happen, whether it's a major medical problem, a layoff, whatever it may be. 3 to 6 months of living expenses. Get it! The next big action that must be taken in order to survive during a recession is paying down your gosh dang debt. Pay down the debt as soon as possible. You do not want the burden of debt, especially at a potentially astronomical interest rate, slowing you down from reaching your financial goals and really just being financially stable. Seriously. Maybe, take some time and don't go and buy that new TV or buy that new car. Think long and hard about your credit decisions. Even Jeff Bezos said, we are in a recession and it's time to really rethink certain purchases, whether it's a major appliance, a TV, refrigerator, car, whatever it may be. Rethink it, because right now is the time to pay down debt, not accumulate more debt. Take advantage of the student loans being able to be paid on with no interest. Take advantage of that and pay down those high interest rate credit cards. Seriously, you got to get your debt down. You do not want that burdening you during a recession. And guess what? It is a lot better to have available balance on your credit card than having not available balance. Seriously. Pay your debt down. That is the main action that must be taken after you get your emergency fund together. Pay down your gosh dang debts. Lastly, the last main action that we must take to be able to survive during a recession is in regards to investing wisely. Have assets in your portfolio, in your investment portfolio, that are going to retain their store of value. What do you mean, Elijah? Well, like Mr. Kiyosaki said, he does not buy U.S. equities. Basically, doesn't buy anything that is tied to the United States dollar. Mainly because, as we are noticing, the United States dollar is not retaining its store of value. The dollar is losing its purchasing power. Hence, prices going up, and hence, everything costing more. So, have assets in your portfolio that are going to retain their store of value and potentially grow in value. What are those types of assets, Elijah? Well, we talk about them here on the MoneyPot channel quite a lot. We talk about cryptocurrency and having certain cryptocurrencies in your portfolio that are going to bring real world utility to the world. Having those in your portfolio are extremely beneficial. And as they bring more and more utility to the world, their value is only going to increase. What else do we talk about? We talk about having precious metals, silver and gold. Everyone can afford a $21 ounce of silver. And silver will always retain its store of value. Seriously. And also, real estate is going to retain its store of value. You own physical land. You own a property, not your house. You own a income generating piece of real estate. That is going to keep its value through a recession and potentially grow. Seriously. Have assets that are going to retain their store of value, their usefulness to the world. Everyone is always going to need somewhere to live. And there is only a finite supply of gold and silver. And there's only a finite supply of cryptocurrencies. And as central bank digital currencies become the new form of currency, cryptocurrencies are going to be all the more valuable. As cryptocurrency becomes the new form of currency, cryptocurrencies are going to be all the more valuable. So it makes sense to have your, net worth tied to assets that are going to retain their store value, and not solely just assets that are denominated in United States dollars, like a 401k and United States equities, bonds, mutual funds, and those sorts of things. What are some assets that you see retaining their store of value throughout a recession and potentially a depression? Drop a comment below and let me know of some of the assets that you all believe are going to retain their store of value and are going to grow in value, even in a recession. Seriously, this is how you survive a depression. You have an emergency fund set up with enough living expenses to cover you for 6 months. You have eliminated your debt. And you have assets that are going to retain their store of value to potentially increase your net worth. Seriously. It's time to start thinking like this based on the times that we are living in. It's clear that we are facing an economic recession. And it could be even more clear next year that we are facing an economic depression. Something that has not been experienced in the United States in many, many years. So prepare yourself for the worst, but hope for the best. Hope that you're able to find this video informational, thought-provoking, and beneficial to realizing that right now is the time to start eliminating your debt, really, and having assets that are going to retain their store of value and not tied to the United States dollar. Seriously. Like, dislike, share, subscribe. Do what you do, but I appreciate you. Until next video. Stay blessed, stay healthy, stay prayed up. Peace.
Are you okay?